Hi Brooklanders, hope you're all keeping safe and keeping well and washing your hands. Mrs Sirett here, and in this video I'm going to be doing a little bit of art and DT with you. We're going to use two different art and craft methods to make a magic carpet. The first kind of carpet that we're going to make with a very simple loom, a weaving loom. And I have one here that I've made. Can you see that there are strings? They sound slightly musical, and they have been threaded along a shallow box. This is actually a shoebox lid. What I did to make the loom is I took a pen and a ruler to measure so that the holes I make in the edge of the shoebox lid are the same distance apart. So with my ruler, just so you can see it, I am going to, I've done those about an inch apart, so I'm going to make another one here and another one here. Now, to make the holes, you are going to need a grown-up to help you because you need something sharp. I'm using this. This is an old tool that an old friend of mine gave me who works with wood, and it's called a bradawl. But in your house, I'm sure that mum, dad, your carer can find something similar, perhaps a cooking skewer or a big thick needle or a screwdriver. But anyway, what I'm going to do is measure along, find where I made the mark, and make the hole in the box. Then I'm going to actually push the bradawl through the other way, because that really makes a nice clear hole that I can thread the fabric through. I'm going to make another one. And so you can see, oh, that's not very straight, is it? Never mind, I was a bit straighter on the proper one that I made. I don't have any string at home at the moment, and you know, because we're on lockdown, I didn't go out to the shop to get some, but I did find this yellow thread in my sewing things, and I use the thread to join up the rows of holes from one end of the box to the other and tie them as tight as I could get. Now, these lengthways string are one part of the fabric, but to make any fabric, you also need strings, threads, wool that goes across. Now, again, in my house, I found one or two things that could be useful. I found that I've got one or two old ribbons, which I might weave into my carpet. And I also found some bits and pieces of wool, but you could use anything that's a little bit string-like. You could cut up strips of material, you could use card, you could use quite a thick paper, you might have some sort of plastic strings, the kind of things that are used to make friendship bracelets. So I think that if you had a very good look around, you could probably find something that could be used, so long as mum and dad say yes. So I'm going to show you, when you have got your strings or your threads or your pieces of card or ribbons, how the weaving works. So here is my loom. Here is my piece of string, and what you do on the first row, you go under the first string, over the second string, under the third string, over the fourth, and you keep going over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under, until you get to the end. Can you see? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my scissors and just snip that. I'm just going to leave that piece of wool sitting here. Now I'm going to choose another colour. Let me see. I think I'm going to choose a piece of pink wool. And I am going to snip the end. So I've got about what I need. Now then, if you look here, I'm going to move this a bit closer. With this grey wool, the first little thread I go through, it went under. So with the pink wool, I'm actually going to go over that first thread and keep going that way. Let's go over, under, over, under, and under, and under, under, like so. Now then, I'm just pulling these together. This is the very, very, very beginning of my weaving. I'm going to finish this off and get it so the whole thing, as much as I want of it, is covered with strings. And then I'm going to show you how we finish off and cut the carpet from the loom. Okay. Okay, so I have been weaving. As you can see, there's a pattern here, and this little piece here is going to be my first magic carpet. Now then, there are these long ends, and the first thing I'm going to do is just trim them so they are the same length. So I've got my scissors, and I'm just going to cut along that here. Perfect. And then the other end. Don't cut too close to the box. Keep it so that you have a bit of length to play with. So again, I'll snip along here. Now, there go my scissors. What we need to do is remove the carpet by snipping these strings. Now what I'm going to show you how to do that is we're going to start at the top here and snip 2, and then I'm going to tie these in a knot like so. 1, 2, and again snip high at the top, take the 2 threads and tie them in a knot. So knot once, knot twice, and work your way along like this. Okay, so you can see now that I have tied the knots, and when they have been tied and I've taken it out from the box, I've snipped the strings. I've just actually got, as you can see, a couple of strings left from this last knot. Snip them off, and all of those long yellow threads are now secure. Now, got to take a little look at these things at the end. You can leave them like a fringe if you wanted to, or if you wanted to, you could take a few at a time and also tie them in a knot. You could go like this, tie a loop, pull it through, and you could have a series of little knots going along here. And there we have it, your magic carpet.